Why am I having such a difficult time choosing? I'm just gonna go more aristocracy, just because I want. Actually, no. I'm gonna go more land, because I want cheaper units right now. So I have naval. So I have 33% chance of naval thought suffering. Naval officers are retiring. An example to us all. So 2 bad things, 1 good thing. Boom. Naval thought suffering. So with our attention shifting further from the Navy to the Army, some of our master shipwrights have decided to seek employment elsewhere. This has caused our shipyards to suffer. To be expected. So minus 1,066 ducats invested in naval technology. So if I go here, naval, you see here right now I have 210 only. So to be expected, now I have 0. It's all gone. But that's fine, because now, if I go to land, you see it's locked now. I can't choose anymore. I have to wait another 11.4 years. Because now, my morale of my armies is going to be stronger, and infantry and cavalry are going to be cheaper to produce. Yeah, so that's my domestic policies. A lot of people are telling me to go innovative. You know, it's really up to you. I like playing more a more historical-minded game. That's why I don't mind being narrow-minded. So I can, you know, leader of Catholic Europe, Spain. So I'm gonna kind of role play that a little bit. But so I'm gonna stick with narrow-minded at +2. Anyway, so leaders now. This I should be able to go through more quick. You have army tradition. The more battles you fight and win, and wars you win, the more you'll increase your army tradition. If you have very high army tradition, you'll be able to recruit a better general. I think the maximum is 100%, and if you get up to 100% army tradition, you can get like an amazing general with amazing stats. Your generals, if you remember back to army, remember like fire, shock, maneuver, all these things. Basically, your general will increase the stats. So having a general will tip the balance of any battle, and having an amazing battle will mean that you can fight with a much smaller army against larger armies. But recruiting a general and recruiting an admiral costs us 50 ducats. Same thing for navy tradition, by the way. It increases over time by winning naval battles. But over time, your naval and your army tradition will decrease. So you don't store it up like prestige. It'll slowly decrease over time. It'll decay. So make sure you keep winning battles and things like that. There's also people you can hire and ideas you can have from our national ideas to increase that. So that's very important. Over here we have discipline. Discipline has like a base of 100%. So 100% means no positive, no negative. 102%, so we have 2 from quality versus quantity, means that we'll have, I believe, higher morale, and our troops will fight harder. If we go very quantity, this will dip underneath 100 to like 90s, something like that, and that means we'll have a decrease in those, in morale and organization and things like that. So you want discipline to be as high as possible, and with technologies and things like that, it'll increase discipline over time. So that's recruit general, goes directly from army tradition. So if I click this, now let's say I had 5 army tradition, it would use up my army tradition, recruiting a general, or navy, recruiting an admiral. And then I would go here, like to Toledo, like my army here, and I could pick a general. Right now I don't have any, so it's useless. Recruit conquistador is if you want to go search out territory, terra incognita. So if I wanted to go from Ifni and search the rest of Africa, I would hire a conquistador, which costs 1 colonist. And as I said, I need a quest for the New World national idea. Right now I don't have that selected, so I can't hire a conquistador or an explorer. Explorers are used to explore the seas, while conquistadors are used to explore the land provinces. They're both won't be recruitable until we have Quest for the New World selected. After that, you have Convert Ruler to General. Remember, we have our ruler here, King Enrique. He's okay, military skill. He's got 5, skill of 5. So we are going to use him because every general is very good, and I don't think we're going to be having too difficult a time fighting Granada. So I select him, and he's been created into a general. The higher your king, or whoever it is, your if I was a sultan or stadholder or president, whoever, the higher the military, the higher military score, the better their general will be. So he's not bad. 2 shock, 1 maneuver, and 1 siege. So siege means he'll be better at sieging. Maneuver, I believe you can retreat faster, you can move faster, and it's better for cavalry especially. And shock is basically just like fighting man to man, like as you can imagine, man to man fighting. You can find much more in-depth detail about all these, but just remember, the more cubes you have for generals like this, the better they are. And if you want better siege, these guys will siege better, so on and so forth. So I'll put them. So I'll put him in my my army here. You cannot do the same for admirals. The only way to get an admiral is to recruit him or to get an explorer. But for conquistador and explorer, it costs 1 colonist as well, by the way. So that's that. Women, if you have a queen, you cannot make them you cannot make them into a general. And if you have Regency Council, which means if Enrique III dies in battle now, and I go into Regency Council, like I have no heir, or my heir is too young, he's below the age of 15, then I won't be able to convert my ruler to a general because there is no ruler, basically. So that's that. Okay, so that's leaders basically. And all your leaders will be shown here. Yeah. Culture. Here we have cultural tradition. Our cultural tradition right now is 12.8. And this will increase with peace, but it'll decay over time as well. So right now that we're at peace, it's going to increase very, very slowly, but if we're not at peace, this will begin declining. Naval tradition, army tradition, these are actually used to recruit great men, like from here. Remember, you can always hire people from their selected list here, but if you want a specific person, you have to get them from here. The reason why I cannot get an army reformer is because it would cost me 10 cultural tradition and 10 army tradition. And currently I don't have any army tradition, so I can't hire an army reformer. Same with for trader. See, if I want to get a trader, compete chance plus 2%, I would lose 15 cultural tradition, which I do not have, and I would lose 5 naval tradition, which again I do not have. So some of these great men actually have conditions. Some of them are more expensive. For example, philosopher will cost us 20 cultural tradition. So here's our great men. If you remember from much earlier when I was actually selecting Raymond Ponce de Leon, I didn't choose him from the list. I went over here and selected on his portrait. And this made me lose 20 cultural tradition. Or around 20. It's not exactly that. 20%. But this allows me to customize who my great men are. For example, Inquisitor, National Spy Defense, Ambassador, Diplomatic Skill. You can look through all of them. But the reason I got Master of the Mint is because he reduces my inflation. And I can see that directly if I hover over here in inflation. If I hover. Okay. Maybe it doesn't want to come out. Strange. Yeah, usually it pops up, huh? But I'll give you another example. land tech. Nuno Pimentel, my army reformer, he gives +6 to land tech investment. So if I go to, technology over here, land, if I hover over here, you can see current ruler +5, Nuno Pimentel is giving us +6, and then neighbor bonus +0.4. So we can see right there the exact effect of Nuno Pimentel. And then our last guy, our trader, Compete Chance, he's helping us with get our merchants in. Yeah, so I mean, take your time. I mean, if you're watching this later, pause and you can kind of look through what each one of these guys does. They all have different abilities. Some of them are pretty much useless. Like, I don't think I've ever really used. Actually, I've kind of used. Oh, I've never really used a banker before, or really privateer, blockade efficiency. The rest of them are useful at different times, depending on when you're going to need them. Ambassador, a diplomatic skill, I guess it can help if you really, really need an alliance and you really have trust issues with other countries. But generally speaking, I mean, yeah, some of them are more useful than others. Master of the Mint is a must, in my opinion. Theologian is good. Missionary Chance +0.5. And by the way, you see, like, for example, Theologian Chance +0.5, that's at level 1. So if I click this now and I get a level 2, I think it'll be at like 1. So it'll increase by 1. And then level 3, 1.5. Level 4, 2. So on and so forth. So when you hover over it and you see the effect, that's just at the base. For example, if I go to Army Reformer, you see Land Tech Investment +3 only, as you can see. But my my Army Reformer, because he's 2-star, he gives me +6 Land Tech. And if I had a level 3, 9. I would get a land tech investment of 9. Cultural traditions, decisions, not. You can commission a painting. This will cost us 1 magistrate and will give us 5 cultural tradition. Obviously, the higher cultural tradition you have, the better person you're going to get. At 12, I'm only going to get a 1, level 1 guy, or if I'm really lucky, level 2, like I did with the Master of the Mint. Otherwise, you really want it to get it up to around, I would say, 30 to 50. That's 50% cultural tradition.
User disconnected.
That's usually a good range, I would say. But yeah, feel free to spend magistrates to get higher cultural tradition. So yeah. Commission Tapestry. Again, just hover over the question mark. You can see what it requires. So this requires me to have 29.7, but I get all these nice effects. So national revolt risk is reduced. Yearly cultural tradition +2, and this is yearly +2. The commission painting is only an immediate 5, by the way, and this will decay over time. But if you have a lot of magistrates, just spend them on cultural tradition. Get a good great man, and if you don't even need the great man, hopefully he'll be bought by another country, and you'll get that that amount of money for selling him to them. So commission Tapestry is nice if you need like legitimacy boost. Last jousting tournament is an example of a period specific decision. In 1800, you're not going to get last jousting tournament. In fact, I'm pretty sure it disappears in like 1450 or something like that. So use it when you can, I suppose. Again, this has requirements. I cannot do it. You can see it's grayed out. It's not green. And that's because I don't have an army tradition high enough, and I don't have 3 magistrates. But if I'm at war, this really helps. Morale of armies is increased, and yearly army tradition is also increased, as well as cultural tradition. But again, this costs a bit more money. Endorse culture is kind of like an upgraded commission painting. You have to have at least 50 prestige, and and basically you lose 10 prestige, you lose 1 magistrate, but you get 8 cultural tradition. So if you have a lot of prestige to spend, which you really shouldn't, because you should be trying to get prestige as high as possible, but you can use endorse culture. I suppose if you have both high prestige, but you also really need a good great man, then you can use great endorse culture. But hover over them, and you can kind of get kind of like a nice synopsis of it.